What's up? What's up, family? Look, I peed in Kenny's pool. How we doing tonight? Yo, yo, yo. AB, thanks for the love and support. You are one of the few positive mindsets. Thank you, G Money. Much love. Hopefully, you'll be filled with a lot of money. What's up? All six of you. Where's everybody else at? Don't nobody else miss me in the family? I've been gone for a couple days. Yo, what's up, everybody? Listen to that. I see Zen Holder. What's up, brother? Everybody's in the house. Where's everybody else at? My internet. Are you guys? How's the service? You're frozen. Gorilla Grodd. What's up, family? Andrew Shoemaker. Much love. Hey, Shirley. Oh my God, guys, it is super, super slow. I don't know why. I think my let me G Money AA cooking the money, the books. All right. Okay, how about now? Am I still in and out? Come on, let me know, people. Am I still in and out? I should reboot, right? Hold on. Choppy? All right, let me try to reset this real quick. All right. How about now? It looks like it's much better right now. Is it? KJW, what's up? Let me know in the comments, guys. Come on, let me know. Can you hear AB perfectly? Am I still choppy? David Stevens, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Much better, right? All right, all right, all right. We are back and we are live. Bandman, there you go. That's my bandman right there. Welcome back, boss. Mr. Grod, thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right, guys, I'm gonna make this very simple for you tonight, okay? For everybody, I'm gonna make it very, very. I promise we will not be going over 30 minutes. How about that? Okay? I promise. So let's see what we have. And in the meantime, you guys could throw your questions if you have any and all that stuff. But I'm gonna start off with this. First, I'm hearing all these things about debates and going on in the community between the yes and the no, CSI, Bigums, and all this stuff. I'll say this: much love to everybody, but no conversation that involves the damn stock of AMC is ever freaking complete without AB's input. That's the way I feel about it. Okay. Now that's much love to everybody. Point is, anything that goes down, unless you got everybody else's input in it, it is never ever finally complete. So that's first and foremost. I want to send that to everybody. Second of all, guys, we are looking more and more and more like the bunch of people who whole entire Wall Street is making us out to be. We're fighting amongst each other, and we're unfortunately not using facts against each other and try to bring each other to the light. No, instead, we're trying to shun each other down. Like we're using the pettiest of the ways to try to bring each other down, to take the light away from somebody and shine it on myself to light further. Are you guys still there? Did you guys lose me? Am I still talking to everybody or myself? G Money, much love. Yes, no business goes down without my input in it. Unless I got my input in there, it's not full. Thank you, Shirley. So that's first and foremost. Second of all, the earnings last night. I mean, I was so busy, guys, for 2 days. Mike, too busy for 2 days yesterday and most of even today, to the point where I barely even did, like I didn't even do any trades yesterday. But what did I tell you guys before that earnings? Didn't I tell you even on the live that I had with Owning the Floats live? I went on there and I was telling everybody when he asked me, he's like, "What do you think is going to happen on the earnings?" I expected nothing major. I said it's going to be not as volatile. I'm looking at their options chain as far as their movements, and I'm seeing them not putting in too much heavy work at all. Like I'm talking about not retail traders. I'm talking about institutes. I'm talking about the big whales. There wasn't much going on. So all and the fact that confirms all that talk was the morning they released the data in the morning while it's supposed to come out in the after hours. which tells you that the move happened like already, like that reacts to the news of the earnings happened before. Now enough of that. What about the earnings? How was it? Thoughts on as the Q2 call, and why do you think they released earnings early? Oh, look, we were just talking about that, Mr. Shoemaker. Now the big thing I want to also address is, how do you, this is the example I've been telling you guys for the longest, how do you have a company who is getting better and better per call every quarter? It doesn't matter how what the depth looks like, it's getting better and better, and you still do not go down heavy on it, like buy up heavy stocks and institutes jumping in left and right. Truth of the matter is, this falls right into the narrative I've always told you guys. The short thesis is stupid. It's a myth. It's a myth. Nothing makes these people close unless they are forced to close. Not no freaking fundamentals of a stock. Look at freaking, again, the other thing that verifies what I say, and I'm not talking to people who've been in the market for 2 years or a year or 6 months or even 4 years, but by then you should probably at least know a little bit more. Look at Caravana. Caravana itself, I spoke about it way before it even squoze. Said the fact that it's even squeezing is mind-boggling. You look at the fundamentals of Caravana. Caravana squoze back into the 50s from the $3 range, and guess what? It is still holding the $40 range very good. It's been squeezing for a while with way worse fundamentals than you can even compare AMC to. It's literally a dying business. That's what Caravana is. It's just they keep restructuring their debts, and that's what AMC is, like Adam Aaron is perhaps doing. But they keep Caravana keeps restructuring their debts into a way where it works to the narrative of the shorts. Because hey, why should we get it bankrupt completely right now? Why don't we leave it? If it's making us money and we constantly can pump it and dump it, why not keep it on around the block? Keep it around. We'll keep pumping it and dumping it. We'll have fun. You see what I'm saying? Christopher Stead, what's up, brother? But that's another thing. So again, the fact that we are 8 million profitable, yes, it is not going to pay off. I told you before the earnings, guys, I told you in many lives and videos, they're going to give you so much good stuff, and then they're going to mask it at the end with what? Oh, we still have to pay down $4 to $5 billion in debt, and 8 million looks really small compared to that kind of debt. But the truth of the matter is, most of that debt it's not even due anytime near, and the ones that are due near, they're the ones that got restructured by JP Morgan and a couple of other just months ago for next year. And even then, one thing we're counting on is overall the market going bananas in order for us to completely make what we gotta do. These shorts have the entire system on their side. The feds did so much repo and reverse repo to the point where they made sure that there's enough money and liquidity within throughout the market to prolong this play as much as possible. When it came down to preventing margin calls, they brought freaking the plunge protection team to the rescue. They brought the NSCC to send down orders to pull out the buy buttons. They will do whatever, but that don't mean shit to us. What does mean a lot to us is to make sure we do not give them the only weapon we have, our fucking shares. Our shares is the most important thing, and that's the only thing that they're after. They get those convergence slash reverse split. It's there you go, Moas, hasta la vista. You know, no more for me, my humble opinion, no more Moas. You're talking about a regular run up here and there, more run ups, more than one run up, because it will be a bunch of people, bunch of shorts closing their positions. It's natural, but nothing exact will happen. Like as far as no crazy out of control Moas, because everything got controlled. The shares that they need, they got them converted in. I've showed you guys in the past how. We're not going to get into that more. However, the fact that finally what kills the short thesis the most, if it does even exist, is the fact that you are a profitable business. Now it's quarter to quarter basis. We got next quarter, Q3 jumping in, and imagine if the Q3 isn't at no more cash burn. See, The beautiful thing about being 8 million in profit, that means this second Q, quarter two, we did not do or commit any cash burn. Do you know what that means, family? You guys know what that means? We didn't commit any cash burn this quarter because we came in the profit, which means we can carry that on even if we come in 1 million or 2 million in the profit in the next quarter. That's proving Q after Q that we are now at a profitable business. Now we're constantly buying concessions at an all-time high, breaking records and all this stuff. However, they keep saying pre-pandemic levels, pre-pandemic levels. Show me the one company that is doing better than pre-pandemic levels. Go ahead, all you short theses gurus. Go point. Show me. Is Apple doing better than pre-pandemic levels? That's the biggest, aka the biggest company in the freaking world. Huh? I'll wait for the answer, because if the answer is yes, you bring it. And yes, Mission Impossible is doing great, fantastic, and there's a bunch of other movies coming out. All this, okay, if you end up worrying too much about the future, you lose the sight of today and you lose the beauty of today. What do I mean by that statement? People keep constantly talking about this. Oh, directors are and movie script writers and directors, they're all gonna go on strike and they're not gonna do any more movies and whatever. And if they were to do that, then we were going to be screwed and whatever. Well, before we worry about that in the future, because that would be a catastrophe for the entire movie industry, not just for AMC. They label it only with us, but they don't talk about Warner Bros. Or the movie producing conglomerates that stand to lose the most when it comes to that. So like it somehow is just AMC's issue. Bro, GME is a positive with no depth. Does it really matter? GME trades like zombie stock, just as if see same boat. Linux, you're actually proving my point right here, Linux. Get with the program, my friend. There you go. GME is profitable. However, the shorts, have anything forced them to cover? And you had a MOAS yet? No. If you think that 2021 run up to the 400s was a MOAS, then I guess my definition of MOAS and yours are completely different. I don't know what you guys think in the family here. Another thing, people are still piling up on that 9/15 expiration date, 9/15, 2023. You know where you heard it. And I still double down on that time. You'll see what will happen then. You'll see. GME need a plan to make money that haven't done anything new, and I don't have nothing against GME. I hope they squeeze so hard that most hedge funds get eliminated. Well, here's the thing. GME has a lot coming. I'll put it. I'll say the truth because again, I have a position in GME, and GME matters a whole lot to me. I don't care if I invest in Sundial. If I have an investment in it, then it's gonna freaking matter a lot to me. Sundial will at that point. I don't have any investment in Sundial, but if I were to, then I would care the shit out of Sundial. I do have it in tlry, and tlry matters a lot to me. Exactly, Lennox. They are trapped with so many naked short positions. Only way out for shorts is AMC to convert and let AMC run until they find real shares to cover. 100,000%. Do the conversion, bring in a lot of apes that are going to be minted, newly minted real AMC shares. And for what? For how much? Do you think 68 cents was only an arbitrage for you, for all the ape heavy people? You think 68 cents was only heavy for you? Imagine how many people bought at 68 cents or in the 60 cents, institutions that is. When that conversion happens, who do you think you're bringing on the boat along with you? Who do you think is coming along? Mr. Loco, yes, not only are they buying many butt companies, they are the apex of the marijuana world. Not the most statement that you would want to be proud of saying, but it's just a stock investment. But yes, they are. Why doesn't he reverse AA? The ape shares create liquidity and let AMC fly? Well, you have to ask Mr. AA all these good questions, because Mr. AA seems to think that we have to make the float smaller in order for us to continue to make it harder for them to find shares. But see, the problem is he's saying that he made a mistake. A lot of people are also cutting him some slack as far as not selling ape when he was at a much higher valuation. Hanzo, how are you doing? Much love. Um, and I don't know how people can cut that slack, by the way, with all the love. When you're talking about billions of dollars of a market cap of a company, a CEO who's making millions of dollars a year, stupid mistake, there's stupid mistakes that people make in small businesses, and there's conglomerate mistakes. Like something, when you're a CEO of that big of a company, small mistakes like this should not coexist. They can't be forgiven. In fact, when he said that, not selling it at the high, but then selling it in the 68-cent range for a company that is indeed shorting the shit out of the common shares or the AMC company. Doesn't matter at what cost or what expense. It's the principle. It's the freaking principle. It's kind of like a religious institute doing or taking some sort of like money or donation from people who do, I don't know, something against religion. I want to watch my words of what I say, but you can't. It's just the principle. You can't, like, the reason of why ape was co-created, or why was the whole reason why ape was issued, was mainly for dilution, so that we don't dilute AMC itself, the common shares. And somehow that notion got deleted with time. Somehow it got erased. Now it's all about bringing it back in. You see what I'm saying, guys? So it's about creating something to make way for something that they want, they need badly, to be able to bring it back in, which is, again, all like, basically it's kind of like stopping in the middle of the ride on this boat in the middle of the ocean to pick up a special group, somebody special, take them on, and then deliver it back to the land. What is that? Short shares. All these shorts that they want, they need shares, they need access to shares. That's the only way they can get it. It doesn't even take a genius to see it that way. Journey, what's good? What's good? Mr. McCohen, how are you doing, my friend? Uh, 4.26, then we hit rip Friday after. Okay, so here's another thing, people, I need to show you guys. Yo, EB, what's up? What's up in your house? Zern could delay until next year. Zern can do whatever she wants. Now, here's another thing. If you notice today, where did we close? Closed at 486. Now, for this is a question to all the long-time subscribers into the channel. If you're in the back over here, if you haven't liked the video yet, or you haven't subbed, I don't know what you're waiting for. So you need to do that and get busy with that. Tell me, if full of manure. I love it, Thomas. Well, I'm happy you're here too, Journey. But what have AB signaled to you about the $4.86? If you remember, before the first rip this past month that we had, I was telling you that that 486 range is extremely important, because that's the level that we cross over from the 50-day to the 200-day moving average, creating what would be a golden cross. Now, here's the beautiful part. We crossed. A couple weeks later, I was telling you about July 21st expiry. I was telling you something big was going to happen. The only person that was telling you that. I wasn't just telling you this is opinion, this is fact, this is fiction. I was backing it up. Things that I was telling people that came to freaking fruition. No one have done something like that before. Those are facts. Go back into the files in the X files and look at them. Fact check me. Fact check me, each single one of you, and point me to one person that said the same thing like I did, to the T. And it happened right there to the T. But with that being said, this is what they would call SM, like I'm promoting myself, right? I love myself. I can't do what I got to do what I got to do, right? But the 486 level was that level. Since we broke it, today you saw they were trying to bring us underneath it, to bring us back underneath. We closed The low of the day, I don't know if we ended up closing at that, but the low of the day was at that 486. You feel me, guys? That 486 is crucial to them. Now, on the grand scheme of things, a lot of people are thinking, look at this, and this is going to be huge for each single one of you guys. Yeah, Pantheon, that's the man right there. We're all lucky to have him, by the way. Hopefully he has a stream sometime soon. I missed the guy already. Um, this is gonna mean a lot to you guys. Think of it like this. I wish I had, if I was at home personally in my office and I was able to stream and show you guys the chart, but I'll show you guys probably tomorrow or the day after. But if I do a live throughout the market hours, and I'll show you guys where on the chart. But look at this. Since that rip that we had last month, look at when we returned. A lot of people are looking at the fact that we went from $4 to $8 in the after hours. Then we dropped right back down to about $6. And then the next day, the next week on Monday and Tuesday, we made it back to the $4 range, the upper $4 range. But what nobody is looking at is the fact that since that rip, if you look on the charts, we have been making a healthy, this is the best part right here, get ready for it, a healthy, beautiful upward movement on a weekly freaking base. Yes, you heard that correctly, which is, there's nothing more beautiful than that. Healthy movement to the upside means the price is moving up and closing. And I know you might not feel it because in the back of your head, you're thinking, we went from 4 to 8 and came back to 4, but you're not thinking about the cents, the movement in increments. How much is it really moving? We have been moving to the upside since that rip every day, which is a sign of what? That the stock is getting ready. And with any time between, like the window that I gave you guys between now and 9/15, 2023, something major would happen. The next pop. Well, institutions seems to think so. That's my findings. No one else has brought that to you guys. No one else is talking about this, guys, because they don't know where to look for this, guys, because they're too busy looking at what they're giving them. You can't wait for your enemy to reveal their cards. You got to track their movement, their money movement, to see what they're trying to do and when they're going to do it. That's the point right there. That's the point, family. Yes, Nixie, there you go. What's up? And Shirley, that's indeed what it is. Again, I am not a financial advisor, but do I have a crystal ball? I don't. How do I do it? I told you. I just track their money movement, especially in the options. When I see millions of dollars stacked up institution wise on a particular time frame, I called it for July 21st. The only person that called it for July 21st, 3 weeks in advance. And then a month and a little bit over, I called it on AMC, and it's and hopefully from now to 9:15, we would see that, or we would see that to fruition. You will see if another pop happens. I am not talking about no MOAS on 9:15. Don't get words in AB's mouth. I'm just tracking their next immediate move. That's it. It's been a long movement over 3 years, and no one could ever come down and predict that it was going to take 2 3 years, and perhaps a little bit more. But one thing I can tell you is I can perhaps, to the best of my knowledge, be able to predict their next move, the next immediate one at least. Dips Patel, what's up, brother? How are you doing? Pop Loco, the one and only. We need to squeeze before October. I'm heading to Vegas. Well, Vegas is beautiful in the winter, isn't it? Now, another thing too, before, if there's any questions, guys, I'd bring him in right now because I can't wait. Margaret Pence, why is AMC in such a hurry to do the split? It takes 10 days. Just wait and see what happens. Exactly, right? Um, Somebody else needs it. Let's just put it this way. Somebody needs shares, and they need those shares fast, might perhaps more than AMC does, because if an occasion was to happen, or an event was to happen, a MOAS was to happen, a margin call was to happen, the only place right now, as we speak today, that people could have access to shares, real shares to cover with, is through us. That's what I'm talking about right there. AMC wants to get that reverse split gone through and the convergence so that when in the event that thing runs, they can sell and handle their business ASAP at much obviously lesser prices. Do you think AMC, if a MOAS was to happen, you think AMC is going to hodl to 1,000 or 2,000 a share? Do you think they will even hold or hodl to 500 or 400 a share? It's a corporation. They're going to have 400 plus million after the conversion that they can freaking issue at any given time. They can slowly cover this thing over that. The hell no. Give us the MOAS, then you can do as many reverse splits and conversions as much as you want. That's an AB testimony right there. That's from me to them. I don't speak for nobody else. I don't represent anybody else unless they want me to and they say it there. But for me, AMC loses nothing by letting the stock squeeze wherever it does. Let us win. We come back and support the living shit out of AMC. And guess what? Everybody wins. They could do as many conversions and reverse splits at that point. At that point, all they're going to have are some, like everybody will come back and buy a grip of shares and hold them. I don't care what kind of reverse splits they do to it. They can do 100-to-1 reverse split if they want. They can do a conversion of whatever, 1-to-1 or 10-to-1. They can do whatever they want then. And by the way, AMC will not lose. The notion that if retail gets out of the equation, then AMC does not make it. Okay, well, what it seems like to me is that AMC's board is doing whatever it can to screw over. It's like they hate the fact that their retail traders are involved heavily in this. Who are they in court with? Institutes or retail? Yeah, exactly. So if they're in court with us, they're sending me a message that they're actively tired of us being in their in their hairs. They want us to be out of that equation. Well, if we were all to get the hell out of AMC, then what would happen to AMC stock? Let me guess. The board is all well off already. The CEO already got over 100 million stashed in his net worth. So would he really be upset if the company went bankrupt? Probably won't end his day, won't end his life. But to all of us, this is everything. To all of us, this is everything. So it matters that we hit on this one, not the next one, not the one after, not anything else, but this. We rightfully deserve this. We rightfully deserve who can take it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here just fully blaming the board and Adam Aaron only. Again, I've stated a long time ago, like before even the reverse split was announced and the conversion, that in my humble opinion, I think they're nothing but puppets. People who just do and follow what the higher orders is. This play, people, this play family is much bigger than any one out there. Any of us single-handedly, even all of us, is bigger than the entire freaking system. And it does have ability to ruin the whole system. Many systems, global risk, because it's not only tied up to us, it's tied up to the entire freaking segments. Like you got other companies that we're on the same algorithms with. GME is on the same thing. tlry are on the same thing. SPC is on the same thing. Even though Brunson, I hate that CEO because he has some worried things. If you guys do your homework on Brunson, and that's the one investment that I have that I'm so pissed about, kind of, because even though it's a great short squeeze potential, in my humble opinion, but that CEO Brunson, that is of SPCE, he has a lot of ties to that freaking. You guys remember the lists of the E and the Steen guy? I don't want to say it all my life. But yeah, he has ties to him. And anybody who has ties to that, then I don't want to support that. And that's ruining my investment. I can't wait for that thing to squeeze so I can get the hell out of that company as fast as possible. Margaret, why is the judge taking so long? She's not. She's not. Most of the time came from AMC. AMC, okay. We wouldn't be here right now. The judge said in the last one, you cannot make this court like this with your settlement. You included the wrong class. You can't speak for APE as well, include them in this settlement. So therefore, AMC was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Here, we'll take it back and we will submit a new one. Whose fault is that? The judge, the court, or the dummies that made the settlement and the paperwork for it? Exactly. Uh, done it for 5 million. Hey, Jeffrey is in the house. Let's see. What other questions do you have before I even speak what the rest of the market would do for the remainder of this week? In my opinion, what whose side is the judge on? The judge at least. Listen, she could be on any like she's on the side of the law. That's the best and the closest answer that anybody could have, unless some overwhelming evidence comes out that says hey, Judge Zern was caught with these files, blah, 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 then the judge is on the law side. There's no side, whether our side or the other side. In fact, if she is, then it's bad business. That means there's corruption, right or wrong. What is the number one thing about a judge? Is to not have any bias to the entire case. And I don't know if this question, Margaret, was some sort of question uh, Pence was to like kind of put me in a position or not, but that's the right answer to it. Now, I can tell you this, Margaret. If on 9:15 or any time before that, if I was completely correct on this next pop, doesn't matter how big or how small it is, but if it happens, and it does, or let's say it happens on 9:15 as soon as the market close on that expiry date, after hours something major happens, then at that point I'll be a lot more inclined to say, people, this is the second time in a row where I pick the next little pop on AMC and it happens. That's wrong. That shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case. That suddenly on that day that I picked last July 21st, that they released the news about the judge releases her ruling on the case, rejecting the settlement, at least for now. That shouldn't have happened then on that day. That scared me for I'll be honest with you guys. So if that happens again for this one, then I know for a fact that everything is staged for us. The entire thing is staged for us. Forget the courts, forget the boards, forget the stocks, forget the players that you think are involved and who are not. Everything will be staged at that point because I shouldn't be able to predict to the T 2 times in a row when this thing is going to happen. And then suddenly on that day or in between in that window, a freaking announcement comes out that in a most weird time too, in that as soon as the market closes, to verify and justify the stock as I've referred to. It's monsoon season here. It feels. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Semmark repost was for 6 months. AMC for 3 months. Um, See, that's another good thing. We could talk a lot about that. See, there's advantages to Semmark and there's advantages to AMC. The advantages of Semmark is they have less mouths to feed, and as long as they focus on many of on the less, and they make sure all of them are good, that's better for them. Versus if for us, if we have some theaters that are not overperforming or they're operating at a loss, while we have many more, some of the most profitable ones belong to AMC, but that could end up being destabilizing because we have to cover for some of the ones that are not. You see what I'm saying, people? So our bet doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad model. Right now, it's hurting us because of the times that we're in. But in the long run, adding a lot of like adding a lot of invigorating ideas, more things other than just the popcorn and the stubs accounts and whatever. There was many things that I've offered to the board and Adam Aaron, things that before even they did it, and some things that they even did wrong when I was telling them about what to do with Netflix, what to do with all the streaming services before they even talked about the Amazon investment in AMC, which is supposed to kick in by the end of this year. A lot of people are forgetting about this, and beginning in 2024. AMC could literally go run all these deals with all these streaming services. And I've said this over a year and a half ago. Like they could run all these streaming services, and all these streaming services have an issue. they have to produce movies so they can beat the other streaming services. But to make these movies is going to cost them a lot of money because they already got their one-time subscription fee from their subscribers. So how can they make more money and still be able to have more money to make or produce movies? Simple. Have a special showing only for the movie for your subs on your phone, on your platform, and then the remainder of it can only be on the big screen for about a month and a half. Literally a month and a half, 2 months, whatever the case may be. For 2 months, have the movie being streamed on the theaters and the big screen with AMC only for a special price to AMC with a better cut, better, better returns to us, like commissions on it, whatever it is, whether it's we take 20% of whatever the movie's profits comes in and all the concessions are for us and all that, which should be the right way. And you can only catch it on AMC for X amount of time for here, or you subscribe to that particular service and get it. Like you subscribe to Amazon Prime and what you can watch the movie there. So it's all, for all their subscribers, but the particular movie for the first month will only play on the big screens in AMC, and after the first month, it will drop special only on that platform that created it, whether it's Apple TV, whether it's Amazon, whether it's whatever, freaking Hulu, whether it's AB. It can be streamed on there too. And that's how you can make more money and more bring more income. But most importantly, family, keep remembering this. The most important thing in a business is profitability. It can have the most debt in the world, but profitability is the deal breaker for anything in life. Anything is worth something if it's making something. If it's not making anything, then it's worth nothing. Aaliyah, how are you doing, my friend? Nice to see you in here, family. How's the family? Hopefully, your loved ones are doing great. Aaliyah's family, what's up? What's up? What's up? Jacquez Prescott, hopefully you're not related to Dak Prescott. If you are, send my regards and let me know what's happening in that Cowboys mini camp. AA wants liquidity off the backs of shareholders to purchase more cinemas to put us more in debt. Possibly. No one can say yes or no about that 100%. But the past tends to agree with that narrative. Hey, what's up? What's up? I want to retire soon. You will. Hopefully, you will soon, my friend. Antonio Williams, as quickly as they did, just like when GME first reported positive earnings and it ran over 60% after hours. Indeed. Let's see. Who else do we got in here? More questions, perhaps? Whatever questions you guys got, I'll answer. And I'll promise, guys, within the next few minutes, I'll be wrapping things up. I'll eventually end it with talking about what is going to happen for the remainder of this week as far as for the overall market. So where was I at before I finished that on AMC? So yes, so making profits is the most important thing. Making profits is literally the most important thing for any business in order for that business to stand on its feet, in order for it to be worth anything. So this step that happened yesterday was the biggest step ever. See, guys, even before the pandemic, if you want to say, as Mike on the floor like to say, the pandemic, even that one was like before it, we were heading to the same trajectory of being a terrible, like you think the debt happened after the pandemic or before or during? All of them. All of the above is the right answer. We didn't develop that debt only after the pandemic or when we were closed. That debt became our problem since 2015. So, is this a pro split live chat or no split live chat? One speed go. Well, if that's how you're dictating what you want to listen to and all that, then I'll tell you, man, you got a problem, man. How are you supposed to learn the right from wrong if you're only listening to selective ideas? So if you only want to listen to yes, for example, and you block out the no, then how would you know what good the no has to say or offer? um, for whatever it's worth for you, so just so I won't waste your time, because if it does, I don't want to waste your time. My stance is on the vote is a no. So, for whatever that means. So, if you leave, you leave. If you stay, welcome. But you need to listen to both, because you gotta make your best educated guess on your own personal investment. You're not, see, somebody saying yes or somebody saying no, you agreeing with the either or both or neither doesn't make anything to your investment. It doesn't change it. When your investment gets affected by whatever decision you make, you can't look at this person or that person and say you caused this or you caused this. You caused your investment. Now you support whatever to your best of your knowledge supports your investment. That's what we all do it for. Diaz, there's the man. What's up, brother? So yes, exactly, Journey. Thanks for putting it well in a well, beautiful manner or well, beautiful way. We're all the same team. Of course, there's infiltrators. Of course, there's people who wants to break the community apart, or some people that are just completely misled. Unfortunately, misled. Most of them are misled. It's not that they're shills or they want to be this. They're just misled, and they've been misled for a long time, to the point where now they feel they let pride get in the way of doing the right thing. I think that's what's happening, because they just can't see themselves coming out now after all of this time and all of this fight and suddenly say, "Oh no, you know what, guys, I switch." The only person I have so much respect for, and the only person that was ever able to do that or man enough to do that, was Mike owning the float. So, and those are facts, my friends. We are team retail 99%, 1099%. Doc online, KBNT only for this community. Okay. Yes, indeed, he's a great guy. I listen to both sides and just hope it squeezes in the end. There you go, one speed go. Listen, I made this case before, and I'll say it here for you, one speed. And just speak for myself. Okay, I'll just speak for myself. One, AB thinks that with the squeeze, or sorry, with this, with the reverse split and conversion, or without it, we'll have some sort of run up to the upside, because some covering has to happen. The only way covering happens is when an entity that sold the share, the stock short, buys back the shares to return them to the entity that it borrowed it from. So by doing that, by doing some buyback, you'll see the shares climb. You'll see the price go up. That's natural. Now, with the convergence slash reverse split, I think that the narrative of MOAS is completely off the table, because now you, instead of having to cover through us, and only buy back from retail mainly to close your shorts, for those shorts, speaking about the shorts, they can go and get them through AMC. They can get them from other institutes who converted shares, and they have invested many shares in ape as it converts over, which means we are no longer the only entity or the only place or the dominant place, not just the only, because we're just the majority of the float, which means when they want to cover majority of the shares they have to cover has to come through us. At that point, with the reverse split slash conversion, I humbly believe that that won't be the case anymore, and therefore that those run-ups would be tamed slash not to the extent of what people thinks. So, or hodling for, or whatever the case may be. For each their own, I don't know, but that's just the best of my ability to explain it. Now, with the no, we're the majority of float. It's easier explained. There's no back and forth in it. If the no happens, and obviously any margins, any MOAS happens, any squeeze happens, whatever goes out of control, where's the only place they could go when they get margin to buy shares back? We hold majority of the float. We dictate at that point the price of the squeeze. If we all decide that it's worth $30, if we all sell at 30, then I guess that's the limit. If that's our MOAS. If we all decide that it's in whatever, the La La Lands, the thousands, whatever, At that point, it will be the case. Why? Because we're the ones who they have to come and close their shares from. They have to buy back from us. But that won't be the case if they can go buy from somewhere else. If they have access to anywhere else to close from, that's when I would be worried. And I'll say, okay, I need to tame my expectations, because if they come to me and say, hey, we need shares to close, just go along with me on this explanation. We need shares to close. Your shares seem very tasty. Sell us your shares. Here, we'll give you whatever, $50 for them or $60 for them. I have to think and be like, okay, no, I'm an ape. I ain't gonna sell you. I ain't gonna be paper handing like some arbitragers. But I'm not gonna that paper hand. So they'll say, okay, no problem. You can keep your diamond hands and your diamond fingers. We'll just go to this person here. This institute called AMC is willing to sell them to us for 30. If you go back to 2021, after the first rip in June of 2021, the second rip after January, in June 2021, who do you think? Do you think AMC sold or not? AMC sold when the price was in the 30s or the 40s. If again, because to a company, something that was valued in the dollars, like $2, $1.99, $2, $3 after pandemic, and suddenly is in the 40s and 30s, you will be jumping all over it if you got millions of shares that you're selling, because that's billions of dollars. And in fact, that's how we created that chest of billions, those $2 billion that we created, that we had. And we were talking about when Adam Aaron was saying, no more dilution. We don't need money. We're good. We Gucci. We need a catalyst before the split and conversion. Yeah, I hear you, Gio. So that's the way I see it, one speed, if that makes any sense. Win, Schwinn, Captain No Likey. All right, let's see if there's any other questions. Nissan, RHA, oh, instant ramen is the best instant ramen. Oh man, much love to Diaz. I love you, brother. How are you doing? How's the family doing? Let's see, who else is in here? Oh man. All right. Well, while I'm speaking about what ultimately is going to happen in the market, what I think is going to happen in the market. Okay. So today you saw the SPY guys drop to between 444 and 448. What if I told you? What if I told you that yesterday, when the market closed at 4 p.m., literally, there was a few institutions that literally, people literally went and threw, literally, like one of them threw about $2 million in premium, that the SPY would go down to $444. Can you imagine this? Yesterday the price didn't touch 444. Today the lowest today was 444. So some major institute, some major players out there like posting. And see, here's the thing for you guys, for some of you that don't know, the SPY's options continue to run like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes after the 4 o'clock close up, because they still have so many contracts going in and out. So point of the matter here is there is a few institutions slash many individuals that most likely are people who handle also the institutions, or they knew of the news from the institution and jumped on their personal accounts, maybe a Pelosi, I and literally posted millions of dollars worth of a bet on the SPY puts to get down to 444, 45, and 446. What do you think happened today? SPY hits 444 at some point, and then it bounces back to 448. And then it ended up closing at 445. Well, okay, put that on the side now. Ice cream 444, the engine's on the side. Let me tell you this. Now, the SPY has a gap to close at 442. So tomorrow we have CPI data being reported. Friday we got PPI, if I got all these abbreviations correct, happening. I personally think we're gonna have to close that gap There's another one that's way below, like in the 20s. So I don't know in a couple of days will we do that. I doubt it. I think that we would have about 442 is in the bag. I personally think that's what's gonna happen from tomorrow or Friday for sure. That's just the way I see it. Time will tell. You guys will fact check me, but I think we have to close that gap. However, what's more important to me is I got the cycle system on the spy, and the cycle is almost ending either this Friday or by this upcoming Monday. And I think by next week, if not by Friday, if it doesn't end by Friday, if we don't close that 442 gap by Friday and eventually got power back up, guess what? I'm still the first guy to start talking about the all time highs on the SPY months in advance. You guys can go fact check that as well. I still think that would happen again as well. And you will see when the trend or the cycle ends on this recorrecting. This is nothing but a correction. The chart on the S&P 500 is never more bullish than ever. Yes, it's in a very scary place in a supply zone. However, it is in a very great place. All the stocks that were moving crazy due to the earnings and all that have been taking a breather. Some still a few more. And I think as soon as the cycle ends, we have this upside move to take us into the next cycle, I think, which normally lasts between 15 to 20 days. That's my cycles on the SPY, 15 to 20 days, give or take. And I think by Friday slash either next Monday, that will completely turn into a complete reversal. So fact check me when that stuff happens. Guys, I'm too open with everybody. I'm talking to the family. Like, you guys know me for this. You guys know AB. I talk like I'm one of you because I am one of you. I am like everybody else. I don't see myself as special anything info that I have. I would love to give it to everybody else because at the end of the day, stronger you is a stronger me, and stronger others like me and you out there. And that's what matters the most. So that we can stop playing the victim role in any saga. It's always retail that is portraying the victim in every show. Whenever it's another episode, it's always us being portrayed as the freaking victims. It's about once that the opposition becomes the victim. Seriously. And I would be such a great criminal against these victims. I'll take it gentle on them. I'll be easy. I know all of you guys might not have the great heart like AB does. And you're gonna get them for if the other side was to be the victims, I know that all of you guys will screw them for every penny for what they did to you. And I'm just speaking sarcastically right here, sarcasm. Like, I just want them to be the freaking victims for once. Gary, love it, bro. Amen. Well, amen, brother. Hensey Joel. S&P stops at 503. Possibly. That's a good look. I know that one thing for sure for me, not financial advice, is that it's breaking that 468 level, and I've been talking about it for months in advance. Many times you guys would hear me post on the community tab and post like day by day trades, things that I would do with the SPY, results of the SPY, results of other stocks, looking at charts for the other stocks. You guys all know I day trade and I showed it and I do all the fact checking. You guys can go all for it over there and all that. It's just extremely time consuming to track what these a-holes are doing in the background to our favorite stock, and also be able to do my trades and also take care of my restaurant, and in the same time trying to do all that stuff. So it's draining, it's time extremely time consuming. Sometimes I have to take from something else to be able to do that stuff. So I don't know, like soon, just to be able to protect myself more and then have a great community that doesn't have any of this drama and nonsense out there going into it. Like I am, like I've created that like the platform or like the memberships role to where people that we absolutely trust within the family will be in there, and then they'll have access to just everything that we could possibly have to offer. And everybody will either way always hear what AB has to say. However, people who want to get deeper and get to know trades that AB is getting in, my outlooks questions, answers to questions ASAP throughout the day, as far as to trading and all that stuff will be all in there, and they will see all that. But people that we have our own team, because I want everybody to be in the community like this. I want the community to be straightforward. I want the community to learn the essence of whether you yes or no. You need to be able to open yourself up to both sides to learn the best that will put your investment in the best possible position. Not to sway you to choose a team, because remember, choosing a sports team, they might win, they might lose, but you'll be all right. Your investment, it wins or it loses, it affects you. You're not just going to be all right. No, it is going to affect you and your loved ones. So it's different than cheering for a team. This is different. And I hate that this movement have taken on this weird sports like team cheering style. Should it? San Diego laundromats, it would be great for you to do a tutorial on options trading. The lesson on moving averages was very well explained. Well, I'm glad you learned a lot from that, San Diego. I'm glad you learned a lot. We'll see what we could do here in the near future, man. We'll see. Appreciate you, Mr. McCowan. Thank you, brother. But remember again, no conversation on this damn stock is ever complete without my input on it. And Rob Dale, where's Rob Dale? You're somewhere in the background. I saw your post. Somebody showed me your post. Somebody showed me your post on CSI's post. You're the family member that actually went up there, and I was shocked when I saw that you actually suggested that AB investment be brought on this. Much love to you and for all the trust that you have in me. Um, Again, I don't think that I'm the smartest individual in the room, never, not even close to it, by all means. But I think that experience plays a big role. This is why sometimes you can be smarter than your parent, but your parent knows more about life because they lived longer in it. So you got to listen to for whatever it's worth to what they say. For me, I've been in the market for many years and I got a lot of things underneath my bag of tricks. And in the same time, I have a voice just like everybody else. So if anybody's going to have any damn debate about this thing, and no matter what it is about facts, it's not about proving who's, oh, my thing is bigger than yours and all that. It doesn't need to turn into that. We're grown adults. It needs to come with information and not to break anybody down. See, this is what I hate. Is what do people get out of tearing others like themselves down? Like all I'm seeing here is how people are degrading each other. When they're hitting at each other, they're hitting at each other's personas, individuality, job or profession. Oh, you do this, you do that. Oh, you look like this and you look like that. This is like freaking not even high school, but middle school all over again. I can't believe that that kind of shenanigans speak for me as an investor in this stock. I can't believe that AMC is being represented by such mindsets. What a pity. What a pity for us to be known for that on Wall Street. Israel will likely be named lead plaintiff. Absolutely deserving. Absolutely deserving. After what? After that cocktail that he made out of that whole court on that hearing. You guys remember the 2-day hearing? You guys remember? I told you guys that lawyer, he put Allegheny slash AMC slash everybody in the blender and just the judge said what she said after. A lot of people were saying that is a joke. What a dumb of a case. Right? Apparently it wasn't. Apparently it was well put together, and the judge ruled at that point. Still got more time to go into it. It doesn't cost me or you anything to hold, right? But it definitely is costing somebody else to try to hold their short positions. That's indeed, Mr. Loco. It is a learning process. That's what life is in general. Let's see. Mike? Who is this? Hansi Joel, bro, can you please tell me more about 15th of September? I just tuned in. When were you explaining? Okay, you know what? I'll do you a solid. And what was it again? Hansi. Okay. So, in my humble opinion, I was able to track down the last pop that we had in AMC to the day, weeks in advance, by following institutional money movement or big whale money movement into the options chain. I got my ways. Now, on that day, on that last pop, as soon as the market expired, as soon as those options came expired, as soon as the market rang, 30 minutes later to almost an hour later, that's when the judge ruling magically came out that they weren't approving of it. And next thing you know, AMC popped from the 4 to the about $8 range, a little bit more. And, the rest was history. There shouldn't have been a way for me to predict that day to the T. You can go back in time before that day and see exactly how I was alerting everybody to it. The only person that was alerting everybody to that day. I wasn't saying, oh, we're right there, people. Look, the TA is saying this. Even though I have done a lot of TA work, important TA work, that, as you remember, San Diego Laundromats up there talked about the moving averages and stuff. Something that I broke to you guys, all of you. And you could go into the past and see the moving averages and my theories and explain to people how to, at least in general, look at stocks and trade with trends. A lot of stuff that you can learn, guys. Hours of talk, a lot of work, and many people can benefit from it. And that means the world to me. Anywho, the next thing about this September 15th is I see the same setup that happened on this last pop similarly being played out on this September 15th of 2023. Okay? So with that being said, we'll see what will happen by September 15th. Okay, sorry guys, I'm looking at a message. Okay. Wow. It's the season to lower your cost averages, family. I like that, G Money. JD, no more arguments. I just read the guy's comment at tlry. All right. So, people, with that being said, like I said, I promised I wasn't going to make it over 30 minutes, but loving all of you guys with all the beautiful questions. And the thing took us over to about an hour, but I have to go now. Honestly, I have to. It's been amazing. Thank you all for all your love. Appreciate all of you that are in here. If you haven't liked the video, please go ahead and do so. Pushes it out to more people to learn. And to keep up with everything. In the same time, if you haven't subbed, I don't know what you're waiting for. You could also see the members channel, part of the channel. You see that on there, blah, blah, blah. With that being said, counterparty risk, thumbs up, go Reds. And oh yeah, so for the guy that just came in at the end, before you leave, so by 9/15/2023, I see that same setup. So from now until 9/15/2023, I see something happening to the upside, like institutional bullish activity / if it comes down to that day, that last day, then that day will be perhaps just like this last pop-up we had July 21st, where in the after hours some sort of decision or something about the judge will come out. If that was to happen, then how can I predict it a month and a half ago? Which means something is wrong, and it shows indeed that this whole thing is a masquerade and a stage that is being everything staged for us. Our emotions are being reacted to. Counterparty risk, if September 15th is your birthday, then we shall celebrate on that day. I think it's good omen. The fact that the earnings movement did what it did, guess what that tells me? So far, I'm correct that the big moment wasn't on the earnings. It's coming sooner, or sooner than later, hopefully. We'll see. And again, I'll say this again, shorts, if you're watching this, if you didn't see any of the other lives, you know I've caught you, AB caught you. If you try to change your minds, guess what? You just made me feel so good that I've costed you millions of dollars, because I've seen those millions. I've showed them to brother Mike owning the float. He's seen those millions, and I'm not going to show exactly how I see all this in the options chain. So therefore, if you're going to change any of that, it's just your loss. I ain't worried. What you lose is happiness and a blessing to me and my beloved family right here. Yes, inshallah, Hansel. Well, Peter Angelo, good night, brother. Thank you. Take it easy, JD. Appreciate it. Mr. Loco, thanks to all the mods. Appreciate all you guys' help. I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. But again, we're all one happy family. I would love for all of you to get bigger and bigger in here and more of you to come through here. Much love to all of you. Thank you all for all the help. And once again, much love, AV Investments.